I'm so sorry for the delay. We had a little bit of a tech issue. So we're here tonight celebrating 3 ways to plan, wills and trusts, pirates, treasure chest, and piggy banks. Introduce yourself in the chat if you're here. We have a Law Mom team member. She's happy to answer questions if you can't answer them. Certainly, we will try to answer them by the end, but please participate. We will be doing polls throughout the sessions and really making it interactive. The more you participate, the better it is. So I'm Sam Allen. I grew up here in Massachusetts. I am a mom. I have a ton of community involvement. My team and I love to give back. And I personally face death. And that's why I do what I do every day. I had a traumatic birth and I almost passed away following the birth of my son. And I thought I could use my law degree to really give back to the community and make a difference and help people avoid what happened to me and not have to draft their planning documents in their hospital beds, and really offer an insight into the educational piece surrounding protecting yourself and your loved ones in the event of incapacity when we can't make decisions because we don't have capacity, or death because ultimately we'll all pass away. So I open Law Mom and we have attorneys and support staff and a really, really great overall office culture with wonderful team members. So definitely say hello in the chat. We love to chat with you. And again, it makes it more fun. We'll have a couple polls that come up. And first and foremost, where are you zooming in from? Where are you coming from? Our Law Mom team member is going to set up the polls, so please participate. It makes the time go by, and then we get to learn a little bit about you and about the people that are joining the presentation. So we have some people from Massachusetts. We have some people coming in from New Hampshire. This is mainly focused around Massachusetts, but certainly stay. You can definitely learn something. This is educational. We are not your attorney, of course. We have to say these things, and we don't represent you. So there's no relationship. However, we do encourage you to look up the laws in your state, and you can certainly learn something today. So up next, why are you here? What's the reason why you came to this seminar? We're so curious. Okay, so love this. You guys are participating. Yay! Just to learn more. Okay, great. It's always good. Knowledge is power, right? Find an attorney. You're like, I know I need to get this done. I hear this time and time again. I got to get this done. I just haven't done it yet. And I get it. Listen, I'm a lawyer and I didn't have a plan in place and I almost died. And that's why I do what I do, to give you knowledge to make informed decisions. Looking for free information, or get a plan done and protect my family. I love that. Getting a plan done and protecting loved ones is certainly important because eventually we will all die, and your loved ones will know if you didn't have a plan. And it's super important if that's important to you. And we empower our clients to get the plan done so that their wishes are heard. So protect you, right? We need protection, right? That's with a healthcare proxy, a power of attorney, right? Who's going to make decisions with us if we don't have that for us, if we don't have those documents? Super important. Protect your family, protect your hard-earned money and assets. That's a big one for a lot of people. There's a lot to protect, right? And planning in advance can make this happen. So our planning strategy: pirates, treasure chests, piggy banks. And yes, I'm a lawyer, of course, but I don't want to bore you. It's not the most exciting topic. So I want you to leave knowing and remembering what you learned tonight. So we participate in doing this with funny types of characters and different things to think about estate planning, so that when you leave, you actually learn something and remember it. So a pirate is our will plan. A treasure chest is our trust, revocable trust. And our piggy bank is that irrevocable trust, the Medicaid worrisome nursing home plan. So these are our 3 topics. They all mean something in the legal world, but we want this to be enjoyable so you pay attention and participate. And it makes it more fun for me. Okay, raise your hand, but you can't, right? Because you're on the computer. Do you have an estate plan? So do your poll. Do you have an estate plan? Yes, no, I don't know. A few documents. Help, I need one. Okay, so we have no. Running winner. Good job. Keep participating. It makes it more fun, I'm telling you. A few documents. Okay, that's a start, right? We can certainly work with that. And yes, you have a plan. Very good. Now, has your attorney called you to update the plan, check in on your plan? That's something you want to do. So call your attorney and ask, right? Hey, my plan, like I want it updated. Has there been changes in your life? Law changes. It's super important. Estate planning is a continued relationship. It just doesn't stop once the documents are done. So these guys, they have a plan for you, right? Now, this is just meant to be funny and make sure you're paying attention, right? We're not talking politics here, please. But this means that it doesn't matter what side you sit on, the government has a plan for you when you die. And the plan usually benefits the state you live in and the government. So this will make you remember that. So if you have a plan, you're in charge, you make the choices, you can avoid significant taxes if planned correctly. And again, it doesn't matter where you sit, the government has a plan for you if you don't plan for yourself. In the chat, who wants the government's plan? Let me know. Oh, no one. No one wants the government's plan. So what is your biggest concern when it comes to estate planning? Anyone want to share their biggest concern? We're going to stick up a poll. And biggest concern, I'm worried about my family fighting. That happens all the time. Clients come in here and they're so worried about their loved ones fighting because they had an experience in their family when someone died and there was fighting and people don't speak to each other ever again over silly things. I'm worried about the cost of having no plan. That's a really important thing. Having no plan, right, is costly. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. I have no concerns or worries, all of the above. Who's going to make decisions when I can't? You definitely want to make sure that you've picked the people to make decisions because otherwise a judge, a person that doesn't know you, is going to make a choice of who makes decisions for you. Oh, and these cute kids are mine. So if you like little kids, those are my cuties. They're way bigger now. Time flies. So this is just an example. It's a fake family, Eddie and Sheila, although they resemble my aunt and uncle, but they are not my aunt and uncle, and this profile is made up. But this is to help you understand estate planning. So they have a primary house in Duxbury, $600,000. Sheila has a bank account, retirement accounts. Nick has a gambling addiction. They live off Sheila's pension. They have a daughter, Sarah, who's responsible. They have a home in New Hampshire. And they have a minor child who's 4, or minor grandchild, excuse me, that they want to inherit. Anyone in here with minor children or grandchildren they want to inherit? Super key to listen to the presentation. Anyone have a child they want to inherit with an addiction, drug addiction, alcoholism, mental health needs? You want to listen to this section as well. And then also Sheila's individual bank account. Now remember, I'm not your attorney. I don't represent you. But anyone have a secret bank account that they don't tell their spouse about? Maybe their shopping fund. If it just has your name on it, it's going through probate even though you're married for incapacity or passing away. So get that organized. We can do that. We've got you. So how many of you have said, I just need a will, my plan is simple? Anyone? Yes? No? I have an idea, but my life definitely isn't simple. Life wouldn't be exciting if it was simple. Maybe I need help figuring it out, or I need a free consult. I have no idea, but my life definitely isn't simple. Okay, the winner is yes, I just need a will. My plan is simple. And that could be true. There are so many circumstances that we do will plans for clients, and they have a plan and it works for them, but it's so specific to your situation and what you want. So the pirate plan, ARG, the last will and testament. Who's familiar with the will, right? Everyone pretty much, I think. A will does not avoid probate court, right? So that's a misconception. Will does not avoid probate court. Healthcare proxy is our medical decision maker. HIPAA is our communication tool with medical professionals, right? We can have healthcare agents that have HIPAAs, but we can have people on our HIPAA list that don't have medical healthcare proxies. They can't make decisions, but they can have information about us. This is intentional planning, right? Empowering our clients to intentionally plan. Most people don't want to leave out their family members. They want them to participate and be part of this, but they don't know how to strategically plan. Financial power of attorney, legal and financial decision maker. Super important. We want to have that in place so people can make legal and financial decisions. Now, if you don't have this set up and people named, ultimately the court's going to decide who makes decisions for you, right? That's delayed. That could be someone you don't want, right? Sometimes people have documents with an ex-spouse listed on them and they're making decisions. These things happen. So make the plan. You're here tonight and I'm so grateful for you being here, and you know you need a plan, right? So I'm so grateful that you're learning, and thank you for coming. So pirate plan problems. With a will, you're not in control. Goes through probate. If you have minor kids inheriting, goes through probate, right? It's great. Your advisor listed your children on a policy that you set up to benefit them. That's so wonderful, except we forgot that minors can't inherit and we're going to have to deal with probate, which is never the goal, right? We just don't know what we don't know, but you're here to learn. So now you know. It can cost anywhere from 3 to 7% of fair market value of assets. There are many different probate options, not many, it feels like many, but there are different probate options based on asset value. If it has to be formal, informal, I'm not going to bore you. You can definitely look it up, but probate is typically what people want to avoid. They want to stay out of the court because it's costly. So we do approximate 3 to 7% when you add up. So if you get a calculator or your phone and you add up your assets and you times it by 5%, that's an approximation based on statistics about what probate could cost your loved ones. And there are other factors, of course, but it gives you an idea. So takes 12 months or longer. And this is where I see clients getting frustrated when they're the executor, now known as a personal representative of an estate. They're like, it takes forever, Sam. You don't have answers. Can you tell me what's going on? And I'm just as frustrated, right? But I can't always give answers because we have to wait for the court, and different things are required sometimes in different courts. That's happened to me, and I have to explain it to the client. And that's not a conversation I want to have because I want everybody to be happy, of course. But when we're in the court, we have to do what the court says. If there is property outside of Massachusetts, your loved ones will have to file another probate in a different state, the state you have property, to probate there as well. So what does this look like? First, Eddie and Sheila list each other as pay on death beneficiaries on their bank accounts. Anyone have done that? Pay on death, I die, my bank account goes to you. That works. Not for minors, remember. Legal and financial decision makers. Eddie can now access Sheila's individual account with that power of attorney because we've given him, you guessed it, good job, the right to make legal and financial decisions. Maybe she doesn't want that, but she did it. Duxbury House, New Hampshire House, Sarah, their daughter, will have to deal with court in Massachusetts and New Hampshire to probate the property in those states. But Sheila and Eddie are okay with it. They're like, hey, whatever, you're getting free stuff. And sometimes it happens. But they've listed what they want to happen through the will. And then Sarah is the personal representative. Many of you know this position as executor. So still think you need a will? Need just a will. So take part in our poll. You guys are doing great. I can't have a will. What other options do I have? Someone selected that. I need a consult. I need help. I need guidance. No way. I didn't have an idea that a will went through probate, or I need to know how to save money, or I'm good with a will. No worries here, which is sometimes happens, right? It's up to you. We're just here to give you the knowledge and empower you to plan. So no way, I need to save money and I can't have a will. What other options do I have are the biggest ones. What other options do you have are revocable trust planning. Anyone familiar with revocable trust planning, living trust planning? It's very common. So we call this our treasure chest. So revocable trust does the same thing as a will. It gets our assets to the people that we want them to go to, except, who wants to guess in the chat, it avoids what? Anyone want to guess? It avoids probate court as long as our assets get into the trust, right? They have to be retitled. Yay, good job. Thank you, Jessica. Retitled into the trust. This is a huge thing and a big part of what we do. So many times I hear people say, I have a trust. I'm like, oh, that's really great. Are your assets in the trust? No, my house isn't in the trust. I checked the deed. Your assets need to be in the trust for the trust to work. So check your deed, check your parents' deed, make sure the assets are into the trust for the trust to work. Very important. And we have people on our team that help with that. Healthcare proxy is where we make or name someone who makes medical decisions for us, power of attorney, legal and financial decisions, HIPAA, communication with medical teams and professionals, and then a 3-year check-in. When you're looking for attorneys to represent you in estate planning, you want to ask if you have check-ins. Stuff changes. I'm a mom of 2 little kids and life changes all the time. So we want to make sure your plan's going to work when it needs to work. Super important. So we do check-ins and we do 3-year check-ins and we check in and you come in and we meet with you and we're like, hey, what's going on? How are things going? Do you need assistance? Those types of things are really important. Have you bought property? Oh, a baby is born? That's great. Do you want to include that person in your plan? These are conversations you should be having. Estate planning is not a one and done. It needs to be updated and it needs to be looked at because life does change. So treasure chest, you're in control. That's right. We like control. Who likes control here? Me. We eliminate those probate costs, right? Because we're putting assets into the trust. They have to go into the trust to avoid probate. We eliminate the court as long as the assets go into the trust. And we have privacy and we keep the minor kids out of court. We can also plan for our loved ones that may have a disability or they have something that we want to protect and we may want to give them money, but maybe we're afraid they're going to spend it on something we don't want them to spend it on, right? So we can hold it in trust for them. And this is coming up often in our planning structures where we don't disinherit a beneficiary that we really want to inherit because we dig under. We find those underlying wants. And then we set up that special trust so that our loved one can actually inherit and that inheritance can be protected so that a trustee isn't giving money out, but it's going to housing, care, maintenance, those types of things. So there are options. So here, Sheila and Eddie, they can access Sheila's bank account because we have that power of attorney. The properties go into the trust. They get retitled to the trust, into the treasure chest. And guess what? Sarah avoids probate court in Mass and New Hampshire. Problem solved by a trust plan. It's so great, so exciting. And they save a ton of money, ton of time. Sarah doesn't have to probate in 2 states. She doesn't have to get what we call licenses to sell. She doesn't have to pay bond, which is like, if it's not avoidable, you have to pay bond and it costs time, it costs money, and it's very aggravating and frustrating to your loved ones. We hold Nick's inheritance because remember, Nick had that gambling addiction and Sheila and Eddie are like, oh no, you're not spending our money on gambling. We love you. We want you to inherit, but our hard-earned money isn't going to your addiction here. So we put that money in a protection trust. Someone else is managing it and Nick can inherit from Sheila and Eddie without their worry of him spending their hard-earned money on gambling. It's a win-win. As a mom, I love that. Awesome option. And Sarah, of course, she's in charge and she executes the trust terms. And then Catherine, our baby Catherine, the 4-year-old, right? We know that we can't inherit as minors, right? We have to go through the probate court if we leave assets to minors, but we keep Catherine's inheritance in trust, and then she doesn't have to deal with the probate court, right? It's all set up in advance. Who thinks this is a great option? Let me hear you in the chat. Love this. This is great. I need a trust for sure. What are you thinking? Please share in the chat. Yes, I do. Let's do it. Awesome. So a will, probate court required. Thank you, Sin. I agree. No protections for minors. Time, 12 to 18 months or longer. Holly, trust, please. Denise, sure. Absolutely. I love this. It makes a huge difference, right? And that's what we're here to do. We're here to empower you. And you want to have that relationship with your attorney, right? We know you can do stuff online. We get it. But what about when you have that hard conversation, right? You want to have a person who understands, who can listen and give you guidance based on your needs. Will, probate court required. No protection for minors. Time, 12 to 18 months. In your assets, they're frozen upon your death. So powers of attorneys, financial and legal decision makers, expire when you die. And if you don't have a joint account owner, right, and you have a will, hey, guess what? that asset is frozen. And it happens a lot. We have clients who get upset. My assets are frozen. What, like, from the person that I'm dealing with, my spouse died. I wasn't on the account. Now it's frozen and I can't access money. That's real life. So revocable trust, no court, protection for minors. We keep them out of the court, takes days. No frozen assets upon death because we've retitled the assets into the trust so that we avoid probate court. What about if you have a pay on death? That will certainly skip probate court, right? We can do that with bank accounts in Massachusetts for sure. So that will skip probate court as long as it's not a minor. So that would work. The house is where that becomes an issue here, right? Because we don't like to add people to our deeds. That causes tax implications and opens us up to liability. But certainly pay on death beneficiaries does work when it's needed in certain circumstances. Again, it's specific to your needs, your wants, and your asset profile. So who here is worried about long-term care, Medicaid, the nursing home coming to get stuff? Anyone? I'm not worried. I'll just stay at home. Who has said that before or heard? Better yet, who has heard someone say that? I'm not worried. My loved ones can deal with it. Yes, I'm worried nursing homes are expensive. And yes, I'm worried I don't want my kids to worry. And I need to book a consult ASAP to learn about my options because this is just so much. So if you're worried about nursing homes, I'm not worried. I won't get sick. I'll stay home. I'll be fine. I hear this time and time and time again. Nursing homes, and this is a little bit older, so ranges have changed. For a semi-private room, $151,000. For a private room, $162,000. It's expensive. And if you have money, the state is going to say pay for it yourself, and then we'll kick in once you don't have money. Or if you have a non-sick spouse, whatever that income limit is, you can, an asset limit, you can keep that, but otherwise you're paying. So when we think of the Medicaid spend down, and this is really silly, but again, I want you to remember it. This is super simplified, super simplified to think about Medicaid spend down. Has anyone heard Medicaid spend down? It's exactly what it sounds like. You're spending down, right? You're spending down your assets to qualify for Medicaid. So Massachusetts people, anyone here ever been to Edaville? So sure, that's where we're located tonight. So in terms of the spend down, we have to spend down money in order to qualify for the government to pay for our care. So at the carnival, you can only ride the rides if you have less than 5 tokens. So you have to have less than 5. So you've arrived with 10 tokens. So the attendant at Edaville says, go spend your money down. You need less than 5. Have at it. So what would you buy? Would you buy polk time, guys? This one's the best one. Cotton candy, if you had to spend down. And remember, the spend down, the tokens are your assets. Would you buy French fries? French fries with ranch, maybe? Would you buy chicken nuggets? Would you buy fried dough? Or all the things? Come on, guys, participate. There's a bunch of you in here. Let's go. It makes it more fun. Fried dough is always the winner. And I always ask, with extra powdered sugar and cinnamon or not? And Edaville has very good fried dough. So now we have effectively spent down our money because we bought all the fried dough and all the things. So now we have less than 5 tokens. So now we qualify for Medicaid. It's a super simple thought process here, but it makes it simple so you understand it. If you have money, the government's on to kick in and pay for you, and you want to look at, and you can look this up, what the limits are because they change every year. So the spend down here for Sheila and Eddie, they're home in Duxbury, right? They're married, would not be countable because Eddie's sick, Sheila's not. So the thought process is, hey, non-sick spouse, we'll keep you in your house. However, you can only have like about $154,000 and that number changes of assets in your possession, and then you have an income limit. So no action required on the home in Duxbury. The vacation home in New Hampshire, that must be spent down. So it's not like spend it right now, sell it, but as we need to pay the bills for Eddie, we will start selling things to afford and pay those bills. Cars, non-countable, but everything else starts to be spent down, right? So piggy bank, remember those shaky piggy banks, the ceramic ones that you couldn't open without smashing it? This is a big deal, right? So that's what you want to think about. So with the irrevocable trust, what's the catch, right? What's the catch? The catch is you can't be in charge of it. You cannot be the trustee like you can be for the revocable trust because you can't benefit from the trust for it to work. So who here has someone that they're like, oh yeah, you can be in charge of my piggy bank all day long. I'm good. I don't need control. Not many people usually, in my experience. But with an irrevocable trust for Medicaid protection, we get the will, right? We have a will with it. So if there are assets that aren't in the trust, and not everything always goes in the trust, it's dependent on you, your wants, and your situation. Your healthcare proxy, the person who makes medical decisions for you, your HIPAA, which is communication tool with medical professionals, and your power of attorney, legal and financial decision maker. Now, here's the kicker. When you're doing irrevocable trust planning in our office, you check in with us yearly. We want to talk to you. We want to see how you're feeling. We want to know if we're going to make the 5-year look back period. We want to know how we can support you. And we also want to look at your assets, your income. Did you get an inheritance? What's protected? Has it been the 5-year look back, right? It's not 7 years, it's 5 years. What do we need to do to support you, our clients? These are conversations that happen and the relationships that happen. And you cannot be in control of that piggy bank trust. And if you are, your trust will not work. So you give up control to a person you choose, seize your assets from the nursing home. It's really long-term care. Most people say the nursing home, but long-term care. No court in any state if the assets are in the irrevocable trust, and we have that 5-year look back period. Key takeaways, Sheila and Eddie on the piggy bank. Name legal and financial decision makers. Eddie can access Sheila's individual account now. Retitle properties into the trust. Sarah doesn't have to deal with the New Hampshire probate and the Massachusetts probate. After 5 years, the properties are protected from Medicaid. Hold Nick's inheritance just like we did. Gambling addiction, no problem. We can include him and he won't lose, right? But we're going to control that money so our hard-earned money doesn't just get wasted on gambling. And Law Mom gets it done for you. We check in with Sheila and Eddie. They come in, we talk to them, we work with them, and we effectively look at their profile every year to see what decisions they are going to make that work for them. It's not about us, it's about you. It's about a plan that will work for you, and those plans don't ever look the same for everyone. So comparison. I love a good comparison chart. We have the will, court required, no protection for minors, 12 to 18 months. Your assets are frozen upon death, revocable. Avoids probate as long as the assets go into the trust. Super important. Takes days. You remain in control. Remember, you're the trustee, you're the creator, you're the person in charge, the manager, you're the beneficiary. This is what happens, right? You're in control. No assets are frozen upon death as long as we have put your assets into the trust. In that irrevocable, my cool piggy bank guy here avoids court. You're not in control. You cannot be in control. No matter how you try to spin it to me, you can't be in control. No frozen assets upon death and nursing home protection. Many people do revocable and irrevocable together because they don't want to give up control over all of their assets. You still need to live and you want some control. So situation dependent, but we work with a lot of clients who have both. So in your opinion, from what you've learned, what are you thinking? A will or a trust? A will, I don't care if it costs my family money. A will, I don't care if it takes a long time. A trust, who wouldn't want to save money? Who wouldn't want to save time, right? Neither. Let my family figure it out, which is sometimes people's reaction. And this is, again, it's about you. So fill out my poll. I love my polls, can you tell? And share what's important of you. Keeping your family out of court and conflict is what's most important. Great. And people want to trust. That's great. Everything, where do I start? We've got you. Thank you for sharing. I think the court and conflict, that's the hardest thing for me. And this office is when people come in and they're fighting and I'm like, there could have been a plan. We need a plan. In long-term care, yeah, that's certainly a concern. These are all things that we talk about with our clients. So we have a stress-free process here. This is really cool. You have an easy, free 15-minute phone call with our discovery person. Mel's fabulous. No obligation. You just chat with her. She gives you information on different pricing structures, what you're looking to accomplish. Clarity session with our director of engagement where you come in and you talk to them and you're like, these are my wants. Can you help me? Are we the right fit? From there, you sign on, you design your plan with one of our fabulous attorneys, you review your documents, make sure they're correct. You're putting a lot of time and investment. There's so much value in doing this. And I can tell you firsthand, when I was drafting from my hospital bed, it's the last thing that I would want to wish on anyone in having those hard conversations. And I knew better. I was an attorney and I didn't do my plan because I was like, hey, I'm young, whatever. Nothing's going to happen to me. And it did. And that's why I come to work every day. And also for those cute, adorable children that you saw. However, it's really to share my story. It's so important. And it's not something I think about. I always joke about this. Like, people don't meet me out with my husband and are like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, I do estate planning. I plan for incapacity and passing away, death. And they're like, oh, to my husband, what do you do? And he's like, well, I build things. And then we go on this talk about Pinterest and bathroom renovations and kitchen renovations, which I love that. I think it's so much fun. And I'm like, hey, what I do is so important. You need a plan. I get it. It's not exciting, but it's one of the most important things you're going to do for your family and for yourself, because otherwise your decisions will be made by a stranger judge. And who wants that? A stranger judge? Probably not. I know I don't. So you come in, you sign, and it's awesome. So what is a free, no obligation 15-minute discovery call with men? Personalized strategy to protect your loved ones is like what you're going to learn about. She's not going to give you the personalized strategy, but she's going to talk to you about what that looks like, how to get there in our office. Immediate steps. You glean clear and easy steps to start your estate planning. See if you're the right fit. See if we're the right fit for you. We have to be the right fit. We're stuck together for life. No, you can go, you can change attorneys, but you will have a great experience here. Everyone in my office loves what they do, and we're here to support you. There is so much passion behind this mission, and everyone that works for me is wonderful. Peace of mind, knowing your future and your family's future is secure, right? Think about that, right? People have named healthcare proxies, powers of attorneys, they get divorced and they don't update their documents. You need a team of people to support you. I can tell you that you can reach out to, you can call and get your questions answered. So that clarity session is really important. Take that deep dive, learn about what your goals are, your wishes are. Design meeting, you design your plan hands-on. We're interactive. We design. We want to know that your plan's going to work. We want your plan to come to life. Review your documents with our fabulous paralegals, making sure everything is perfect. And signing, celebrate you. Celebrate, feel empowered. This is a big deal. This is a value. This is an investment. It is an investment for you and your family. 3-year, 6-year check-ins. We do Zooms. This is super important. The Zooms are wonderful. They're so important, and they allow you access to planning. You can do it from your comfy jams from the couch, or you can come in. We have those options too. It's up to you. And we've made it easy. So you can do it with our team can do it. We can help you fill out information. We have easy scheduling, short meetings, reminders, a support staff, a team of people here. We hold you accountable. You're here because you know you need a plan. I knew I needed a plan and I didn't do it. Don't be me. That's why I do this day in and day out, why I'm here away from my family, educating, because I want to make a difference and I know how important planning is. And it looks different for everyone. Your plan should not be the same as your neighbor's plan. You have different goals, different concepts, different asset profiles. Faster than you think, 4-week turnaround. We have a lot of people planning. It could be a little longer. We work with you. We work at your pace. We want you to get your plan done. Sheila and Eddie, remember them? They're not worried about the emotional toll on their kids, not worried about the cost of court, not worried about Nick's gambling addiction, not worried about Sarah and Nick fighting. That's huge. Your kids, if you have kids, you want them to have each other if you're gone. And not worried about losing everything to a nursing home, because they have a plan. They put a plan in place and they have a team to support them. So we're going to offer this free, no obligation 15-minute discovery call with Mel, no pressure. Take advantage of it. It's worth it. You gain clarity. You understand what we're like here. You get to really participate in something and do something for yourself and do something for your loved ones. So you can click to schedule on the complimentary consultation side. Definitely click, take advantage of the meeting. It's great. Again, no obligation at all. A friendly reminder for a plan, if you put a plan in place, your accounts aren't frozen. right? They're not frozen. 12 to 18 months of court avoided. Your kids won't be fighting. If you do an irrevocable trust of Medicaid avoidance, you have a team of people to help you there. No emotional turmoil. So how would you feel if you could secure your family's future today? Excited to start planning? Curious about the process? That's good. You should book a consultation if you're curious about the process. Need more information? Give me peace of mind. Book my call today. So we have great reviews. Check us out. Vet us. Go on Google. We love our clients. We host in-person events and our clients come to our events. We really want you to be part of our firm and we want to make a difference for your loved ones and for you. So again, book the no obligation 15-minute discovery call with Mel. It's personalized. You're going to learn about a strategy session if you decide to sign on as a client. Clear and easy steps, secure your family's future, make sure things are taken care of. Because the people that know it's not taken care of don't know until they're put in the position and they're dealing with probate or dealing with a messy nursing home, and they're the ones who feel it. They feel the impact. So plan for them. Give them the best gift that you can. So important. So what's holding you back from planning? Just curious. I always ask this. I'm always curious about this. Not worried about the emotional turmoil. Not worried about the cost of court. Not worried about the 12 to 18 months. Your family's never going to fight. You need a plan. Set me up with a free consult. If you want it to set up with a free consult, which I encourage you to do, you can click on the free consult button, take advantage of that. You sat through this seminar tonight. You were empowered. Thank you for being here. Take advantage, book that appointment. I'm going to start answering some questions in the chat, but certainly the consultation button is up. So take advantage of that. It's free, no obligation. It's a useful tool. So questions in the chat. Medicaid must reapply if you change states or counties, track all expenses. People are just chatting about Medicaid. Irrevocable trust and revocable trust are normally used together by clients. Okay. Thank you, Jessica, for answering that. You definitely pick what plan works best for you. Retirement accounts, it's dependent on the structure, right? Typically we're saying retirement accounts. Again, I'm not your lawyer. I don't know your situation. We're not putting them into the trust, spouse first. However, if you have a special needs child and you want that money to funnel through them, you need to weigh the options about where the best benefit is. So there's no black and white answer. The standard for the average person is typically we don't put retirement accounts into trust. However, there may be a reason to do that. And that's why you should meet with an attorney and really look at your asset profile. It's super important. Definitely click on the free consult. I have everything but a trust, but I was living in NY at the time. I now live in Vermont. Your trust should work. You want to definitely have a Vermont attorney look it over. I'm sorry, everything but a trust documents. Have a Vermont attorney look it over. Laws are different in each state. I always say check it out. We have great Vermont referrals you can check out for sure if you need an attorney recommendation, but it's always good to have your documents checked in the state you're moving to, just because there's little nuances sometimes that are silly, even between Mass and New Hampshire. That happens. 82-year-old dad has a will, but not a trust. Is he? Oh, definitely not. Starting a trust, you can do it at any age. If his goal is to avoid probate, make it easier on you. You definitely want to encourage a trust. But again, it's based on dad's goals. 82, not too old. That's just 82. You're still young. But certainly like supporting that and seeing like what the needs are of dad for sure. You're the one that's going to probably be dealing with the aftermath when something does happen. So you may want to have a conversation with him, bring him to a seminar, come to one of our live events, get him out of the house. My favorite grandpa, my only living grampy, actually, my grandparents, he's 84. So I have a special place in my heart for my 80 somethings. And definitely my grandpa's still young. He's like making maple syrup in Maine. He's like, I called him yesterday. He's like, I'm making maple syrup. I'm like, are you okay? So keep them young, but definitely take advantage, book that consultation. It's super important. This is the best thing you can do for yourself and your loved ones. We're here to support you. And when you are looking for a firm, ask the questions, check-ins, tell me about the trust. What is your process? What value do I get, right? We want to know the value. Is it typical that younger people have a revocable trust and change to an irrevocable trust once older? I don't have a home, but plan on it within 5 years. Great question. Yes. If you want your home to stay out of probate court, revocable trust makes sense. People do add on an irrevocable trust. We don't change them because there's many errors that could happen with that, but they'll have the revocable with the irrevocable. And if you work with our office, if you do the revocable and you upgrade to the irrevocable later, we already have started the work. We have your information, so it's less costly on our end. And we work with you and we check in and we make sure that you're taken care of and that, we're checking in with you when you need that irrevocable trust. We're ready to do it for you. Yeah, I mean, Sharon, it's up to you. I definitely would take advantage of the consultation because it's really about what you're looking to accomplish. And if it's Medicaid is really on the forefront right now, or you're just like, no, I really just want to avoid probate, that's where I sit. But maybe in the future, which it sounds like you're saying in the chat, then you would look at the irrevocable later. We don't work in Vermont. We just work in Massachusetts. But if you send us an email, we can certainly give you a recommendation for a Vermont attorney. Although I just went to Vermont and it was quite lovely. We went to, I think it's Kichi. It was very, very nice. We had such a good time. It's so beautiful. All right. Well, I'm going to let you all go. Again, you can sign up. You can sign up for a free consult if you want. It was so great spending tonight with you. I'm so grateful for you all participating in the polls, and we're here if you need us. So definitely reach out. Have a great night, everyone. And thank you so much again for coming out and participating. And then really, we empower you to get your planning done, and you're here tonight. Take that step. Don't put it off. I see so many people put it off and then they pass away and their families are left to pick up the pieces. And I, again, know firsthand. And have a great night. Thank you so much. I hope that you learned something this evening, and I hope to hear from you soon. And I hope that we get to put a plan in place, give you peace of mind, make sure you're protected, and we get to work with you throughout life, making sure that your wishes are adhered to and your families are taken care of. And you can certainly sign up for the free consultation. It's on the left-hand side, and I appreciate each of you. Thanks again. Have a good night.